Hey, you chickadees. I'm Lay Rooster, and you're in the hen house. We've got patch 49. This is Deep Space Nine, Art 4 of the arc, the final one. And that, you know what that means? You found out about the spy? Yes, you did find out about the spy, one way or another, but also the end of the arc event store, something we've all been looking for, and we're going to make sure we check out here in the video as well. So we've got an arc store, we've got the final arc, we've got the spy reveal, and we have some more stuff to see what we're getting and what we've been thinking about getting. So let's look here at patch 49. You can see some of these officers, and it's like Kira. I already had Kira. Well, yeah, well, you thought you had Kira. So Cisco and them are back, and we're seeing that we're getting new station upgrades, field training, new officers, bunch of missions. All right, so we're going to look at some of these in depth in the game, but first, field training. Okay, new field training will be available for all, with a special focus on those new to Star Trek Fleet Command. Follow all the tasks to learn better how to play the game. What this really is a catch-up mechanic for newer players so they can get further into the game, because, you know, it really starts kicking in that 25 to 35 range as far as being able to participate in most of the events and most of the things related to a lot of the battle passes. So it kind of helps you, and it kind of helps give a jump start, because those of us who've been playing a little bit longer, closer to the beginning, or those of you from beta and all that, we've been there unlocking all the ships and all the officers as we go. But everyone who's coming into this great game is not there, so they need a little bit of a jump start. We will look, because a lot of the things they've said that we can't get, because like we can't upgrade our Rialtas anymore, we'll get, it'll be given to us through grandfathering. But we'll check that out. Also, some new research. So, new Alliance research, 6 new Defiant nodes in the Starships tree, and 1 Galaxy Tree Prime. So, the Defiant research, 5 new nodes and 1 Prime, enhancing the Defiant's active ability for assaults. Now, they're making it was easier today and earlier to see the page for assaults. I think the link was direct, and it must have been edited out. Anyway, what are assaults? This is the final piece, or at least the next big piece of star bases. The Alliance star bases can now be assaulted by a 4-person armada against you. So if you're out there mining plasma, they can attack you, and kind of with an armada mechanic, and they can steal your plasma. So that's part of the thing. You can hide your star base, but when you're hiding your star base, you can't be attacked, but you're not mining any plasma. So that's going to be the thing. So that's going to be an interesting mechanic, and is going to give some reason. Now, what they're also pointing out here is that the Defiant, at least the Defiant's buffs, are going to help a lot with this assault mechanic. So having the Defiant has another reason. We have talked about how the Defiant is probably too important of a ship to be pigeonholed into so narrow of a range with the solo armadas and a bit of helping other armadas. So this is also going to help with the assaults. That's at least a step in the right direction, I would say. Let me know down below what you're thinking. Make sure while you're down there to like, comment, and subscribe. Help us all out. We appreciate it. And if you're new here and you like what you see, go ahead and sign up for a membership on YouTube. It'll help support the Hen House and all the content we do here and on Twitch. All right, let's see. So also Prime Bajoran Diplomacy, a new Prime, which is going to increase the diplomacy tokens. This is a good thing, because those you can really do a lot more with a lot more of those. So that's worth it. We are getting a lot of other things that we can get. A new dry dock, coming in starting at level 35. You can get this dry dock H. The last one that we had in the videos, we called it G. It was dry dock G. I called it G money. This one's H for have cash. All right, but you can fill out that dry dock and get another one if you need another ship. You won't have the extra gun just like the last one, but you will have the advantage of having that many more ships available to be active. We're also going to have a couple new queues available to us. We'll get a new building queue, so you can get a third one, and you get the new building queues and a repair queue. So for those of you, if you're like me and you run a whole bunch of ships at the same time, and then try to avoid using speed ups where you can, this will help with that, and just let you be constantly repairing some stuff, because that can be annoying. Anyway, bunch of new refits, or 3 refits for the 42 ships, so making the 42 great again. All right, so they're going to have one for epic refits for provide meaningful things to the Ops 42. All right, so Federation Klingon Romulan ships. So the Jim Hadar for the Kelvin Will increase base amount of Fed reputation gained or lost from defeating hostiles and armadas with the Kelvin by 50%. So that's going to help that. Against gaining Fed rep for the Fed ship. The Marine warship refit for the Katinga, which looks interesting. It will give you Klingon reputation for armadas and hostiles by 50%. They're really the same thing. It's based on the Alliance faction that it works with. Same thing. You can get a nice Cardassian galore for your Valdor. That almost rhymes. All right. Getting Romulan boost by 50% there. So you can get those, making the 42s a little bit more interesting, which has been kind of a subject that we've been talking about the whole time with Solar Armadas and those types of things. Well, that's good. We do have new officers, and there she is, Jadzia Drax. I think everybody said, I got to have me Jadzia Drax, which is kind of what they said on the show, too. So especially Dr. Brazier, see him down there. All right. Dax is an epic officer for us. All right. So her captain maneuver is Keen Eye, increasing shield piercing, armor, and accuracy by X%. All right. Against solo armadas only. So like 6. Her officer ability, increased weapon damage by % of officers' health against solo armadas. So she's in there, and of course she'll work with the other Deep Space Nine officers. They'll play well with Cisco. Good note here that we are hearing is that we'll be able to earn her through the traditional 3 times during the arc leaderboards. All right, solo leaderboards will be there to earn her the old way. So those of us saving up can get back into that pattern of behavior that we used to hate, but when we lost it, we all said bring it back. So anyway, let me know what you think about it down below. All right, then Odo coming in as one of 3, but really there's 4 officers. Now, he's a below decks officer. He's an epic, and I do like Odo. I like him from his days in Benson. If you catch that reference, please let me know down below. All right. Odo available as epic officer. His officer ability, fluidic strength, increases base armor, shield deflection, and dodge against solo armadas. His below deck ability, increases critical damage by Y%. So from 20% up to 60%. One nice thing, looking at his stats earlier, he's heavy on health, which means that that's something that feeds into Cisco's abilities. So putting him below decks when you're also running Cisco as captain will be a little bit extra help because he's a health officer. That's good. Then we got Julian Bashir. He'll be a rare officer. A lot of people were asking for him too on the Twitch streams and stuff. Check the links below and join us on our next Twitch stream. All right, his captain maneuver, surgical precision, increased critical hit damage by X against solo armada. So a solo armada crit hit, and his officer ability, increased critical hit chance by Y against solo armadas. Crit chance. Pretty nice, especially because you can synergize him with Cisco on the side. I think Rev was already talking about this earlier. You put him with Cisco as captain and Miles on the side to get those extra shots, and then you get extra chances for those to be crits. That's pretty good, or at least potential. And then we've got what? Hey, we've already got you. No, we don't. We'll see her on there. She's the spy. This is not the spy, Kira Nerys. Available as a rare officer. Officer ability, Steel Determination, decreases shield mitigation by X% in an assault. So she's specific to the Starbase assault mechanic. Below deck ability, so she's a below deck officer, so 2 below deck officers. Reduce opponent's player critical hit chance by X%. So she's going to be helpful for PvP as well as assaults, which will be good because it sounds like we're going to be very encouraged to go try to initiate PvP to stop people from hitting our Alliance star bases. That's what it looks like. So we'll see. I'm sure incursions will be fun with that. Anyway, she's in here. We also have a bunch of new missions. To get in there, we'll learn about assaults through that. Side missions. You know what to expect with some of that. New battle pass, of course. Espionage event conclusion. The grand reveal of the Changeling Spy. And new missions to rescue the Changeling Spy, or Kira, the real hidden one. We're going to have some frames and avatars. I like how they're showing them because we usually don't see them. Of course, avatars, frames. Make some bug issues. I think one of the biggest ones is that there's an improvement in the spawn rate of normal hostiles in the Mantis space. So that's good. It's not the Actian Apex hostiles, but it is the other one. So at least you can grind that way. And it seems to be generally improved across. Let me know down below what you're experiencing and how great it is to farm, or Well, not great, but it seems like people are saying it's pretty good. So we'll be checking that out. Now, let's go into the game as we look at some of these pieces. Okay, now we got the game showing up nicely, and so you'll be able to fit in that extra dock right here, make it feel complete and, spherical, circular. All right, so if I can get that to go away, let's look in here. Here's the field training section that we were talking about. You see ships, officer station, combat, really take you through a bunch of different things. You look at the leveling up ships, defeat hostile level 1, going up, get some par steel, ops 3. This is clearly a beginner path. Level up some of your ships, but notice up top, you get a little latinum, but you start getting Moreau and pike shards. So that is good. Obviously, that's going to help accelerate that. Pike got a little harder because he got a little more hidden in there. I don't know, it took me long enough because I had some unlucky RNG. But anyway, it'll help people get him because that's an important combo to get going. If we look at officers, again, you're continuing to get some more pike and Moreau shards. So that'll speed people up. I know some people really sped through when they were trying to push through and develop. This will make it easier for everybody, including free-to-play and new people. So we've got that. Then also, we should be looking at the event store. All right, so the ARC store is up, and we can see, hey, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of, we usually tell you not to buy resources, things like that. Most of us say that. You can get some cloaking. You can get some ship blueprints. Includes your epics and other types of ships. I think of note, one of note, the Mantis is in here. So for those of you who haven't bought the Mantis yet, and of course you're working on it slowly through incursions perhaps, but here's another way to get it. Especially if you put a lot of effort into getting extra currency, you can get the Mantis. In looking, a lot of good ships, but I don't think the ISS Jelly is in here. That's typically been added. This is the other Jelly. The ISS Jelly has been added usually as an afterthought in most of these arcs. So don't go spending your stuff immediately if you're waiting on that, because it might be there in a little bit. And then, of course, we do have some Meridian stuff, so some options for getting good sourcing on the Meridian here. And pretty much all the different ships you need. Those of you who are looking at getting that second Stella without paying, here's your ARC store for that. So let's see. I expect they'll probably add ISS Jelly, but the Mantis is probably going to be a really big one for a lot of people to work on and make it easier for you in the event. So let's go back here. So usually we talk about that. We have some projectile shards and stuff like, I'm going to look at this Cardassian Disruptor from before. And we go to the officers, because we usually talk about getting the officers because they stay with you no matter what ship you grow into or grow out of. Let's see. Of note, Odo's here. Odo's brand new, and we can get him in the ARC event store. That's breaking with the rules. Typically, you can't get the person that's released in that particular ARC release. So that's nice. We can get Odo. No Jazzia, but we can get Odo. So that's good. You can see the Cisco Mile. We got Gul Dukat, the whole Interceptor strike team, and we have Weyoun and the Explorer strike team. And we don't have the Battleship strike team, so that is missing. Also, this is good because you can start to round out. These were the harder two sets to get because the Battleship ones were a little easier, I guess, because they started monkeying with how they were sourcing them with Gul Dukat and Weyoun. So it's good that we'll be able to get officers this way. But, people like Jean-Luc Picard, Jayla, some of those people, they're not here. We did just get the free epic, so you had a chance to get one of those. Not Jean-Luc, but, so it's good if you're focusing on strike team. I know I'm going to need to fill out some of those people. It's not as robust as like the Duality arc was that had those people in there. So let me know what you think and how you're going to focus your spending. Truth is, you can only work on so many at a time unless you're spending a lot of money to buy currency to get these people. And if you're doing that, you can probably buy them out of the store. So that's part of the event store and just a little bit of updates. Plus, we'll see what's going on with the Alliance Starbase assaults. The events are already out, and we're going to have specific events where we need to attack or defend those and defeat against those. So that'll be fun. Or at least we hope it'll be fun, and we'll see what happens with all that. And then, of course, we'll see what it does with incursions in 2023. I hear the roadmap's coming out, too, so look for that. I'm excited about making a video about that and checking out what Scopely's telling us is on deck for us. Anyway, you guys take care. Let me know what you're thinking about. And like and subscribe. Take care. CockADoodle-doo.